Sri Lanka presents.
For years, digital nomads and slow travelers built their lifestyles around specific hubs in Asia. But traditional havens like Bali and Thailand have become heavily congested, westernized copies of the cities people originally tried to escape. As global tourism concentrated in these few spots, local economies adapted. Rent and daily expenses spiked, making the dream of low-cost, high-quality living increasingly unsustainable in these traditional hotspots. But a few hundred miles to the west, nestled in the Indian Ocean, the teardrop island of Sri Lanka offers a different reality. Right now, a budget of $600 to $800 is enough to fund an entire month of beachfront living. It covers a private residence, 3 fresh organic meals a day, a vibrant social scene, and absolute physical safety. The fact that a traveler can secure an elevated standard of living for less than the cost of a utility bill in London or New York makes this island a powerful, overlooked alternative for those working remotely. This chart shows the reality of the current arbitrage opportunity. A comfortable lifestyle in Sri Lanka ranges from $420 to $660 a month, which is significantly lower than the inflated averages required in comparable tropical markets. To see how that is distributed, look at the housing allocation. For $200 to $350, a foreigner can secure a clean, modern one-bedroom apartment or a share in a beachside villa equipped with high-speed internet. Another $30 to $50 covers all daily urban transportation, primarily handled by the fleet of tuk-tuks navigating the city streets. And that same transit budget also buys passage on the historic train network, providing open-air access to the interior of the island. This budget breakdown eliminates financial anxiety, allowing travelers to upgrade their standard of living while spending a fraction of Western costs. Living here is governed by the 4-hour rule. Because the island is geographically dense, you can move from the Golden Coast to the misty mountains before lunch. It starts in the capital, Colombo. It is a magnetic city, where classical colonial stone buildings sit at the feet of modern skyscrapers. A short trip south leads to bays like Sigiriya. Here, the workflow involves finishing an email at a cafe and catching world-class waves an hour later, against a backdrop of dense, undeveloped palm trees. Travel inland to the central hills of Ella, and the climate shifts. The coastal heat is replaced by cool tea estates and massive infrastructure built straight into the mountainside. Further north, archaeological wonders rise out of the wild jungle, marking the footprint of a civilization that dates back over 2,500 years. This sheer density packs an entire continent's worth of biomes, history, and climates into a single navigable footprint. The geography draws people in, but the social dynamics keep them here. Sri Lanka operates on a philosophy of hospitality, where locals frequently offer directions and invite strangers into their homes for sweet ginger tea. In the cafés and growing digital hubs, you meet a younger generation that is heavily multilingual and career-driven. They navigate a global digital economy while maintaining a grounding in local traditions and family values. Much of this connection happens over the food. The daily staple is a farm-to-table meal featuring up to 6 distinct vegetable curries, dal, and meats cooked over clay pots, all for about $2. In the evenings, street food becomes a sensory event. The rhythmic sound of metal blades chopping kotuwardi on hot griddles signals gourmet meals served for spare change. This affordability creates a space where human connection occurs naturally, unburdened by the financial stress common in Western hubs. To understand the depth of this culture, you have to acknowledge its history. For 3 decades, the island endured a devastating civil war. That conflict was followed by a severe, modern economic crisis that tested the population's endurance. These decades of consecutive hardships forged a specific national resilience. The older generation carries the stories of survival, while the youth channel that same endurance into building a welcoming digital economy. The safety found here today is the hard-won product of a society choosing to rebuild itself. You can hear this community spirit every morning. It is a place where the sounds of Buddhist chanting mix with the bills of Hindu covils and Christian churches, reflecting a peaceful coexistence of Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and Christianity. Foreigners are welcomed because their presence matters. The daily commerce of nomads and travelers directly supports this national revival. The low cost of living facilitates the arrival, but the community and the sense of peace provide the reason to remain. If I gave you a plane ticket to this island tomorrow, would you take it? Let me know in the comments below.